Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about a major rainstorm. This could cause some pretty bad flooding for the southeast. So let's go ahead and get my little marker out here. Hey, that's about the spot where it will be, not the bullseye, but we can see the first rain event. We can see consistent rain here. Consistent, moderate to a little bit on the heavy side rain. We can see the scale here. That's my phone. But we can see the scale there. But as we move it out, it doesn't really amount to much, so we will really skip that one. It doesn't really amount to much. Now, this is where it gets pretty heavy rain, very consistent heavy rain. This is only 3 days out, so this isn't that far out. Pretty consistent heavy rain in the same area for a long period of time. So let's go ahead and round it back. Just look at, oh, we love circles. Well, look at this area here. This will be the area that gets consistent. That's very consistent. So 66 hours to 72 hours is consistent heavy rain. And we can see this this piece of energy right here, this part kind of creating its own. We can see a little splotch of moderate rain there. Moves out off the coast and tries to become something with this clipper system that is giving its moisture to. It tries to become something, doesn't become much, but then this massive rain mass will make a soggy, wet weekend, a very soggy and wet weekend for the southeast and the north a little bit. We can see Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, places like that. Maybe even Pennsylvania sneaking in on a little bit of rain, clipping it. So it will be a soggy weekend for a large portion of the country. Texas, that will help with some of that ice that will melt a little bit, but most of the ice is gone as of right now, as I know. But Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, a little bit of Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, places like that sneaking in, and maybe even Kentucky. Well, Kentucky's in this very big, very massive. Kentucky will be getting the bullseye of this. You can see, let's get the whole Kentucky state, fried chicken state. You can see this is Kentucky right here, and this is where the rain is gonna stay for a good while, and then it moves out, and yeah, it moves out, and then boom, comes in again, and then that moves out, and then there's nothing really out of back out except this area will be getting a little bit of rain. Florida, Georgia, places like that, South Carolina, North Carolina will be no, well, I forgot to name the states, but South Carolina, Georgia will also be in on the sogginess. But we can see a little system coming on the west coast here. A little tiny system will be bringing some moisture to California and the west coast, but snow here for the higher terrain and more moisture, which is very good for the fires, but the fires aren't as bad anymore. But we can see the snow, the moisture that was staying here. We can see it, go off the southeast here, become a little bit stronger, as we can see a very more powerful low pressure system there. I don't think it's a low pressure, but much heavier rain than it was. We can see it start to ball up, which is kind of tropical like. Uh, Kind of tropical like, honestly, but then it stretches out, which is weird, but we all love tropical weather. At least I do, and I really love making videos on that. I know it sounds bad, but I can't wait for the hurricane season. That will be very good. I can make consistent videos, but as of right now, United States isn't really getting that much stuff, because I'll show you in a minute. Because let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Where's the good stuff for there? We can see big boy high pressure. This high pressure is quite insane. Quite the insane high pressure. Oh, look at that. So we can see its arms reaching out into the United States. This is what keeping the United States dry, and really the whole North America. But as we move it out even stronger, it moves a little bit farther south, uh, as we can see, and this is what keeping America dry. But finally, low pressure system, get this back. A low pressure system starts to fight this high pressure, and it brings some finally moisture to the southeast. I've been needing it at least, and we can see it come up the northern hemisphere, and we can see it come up. Turns out to be weak. The low pressure stays down here while the moisture goes up there. Uh, and the low pressure doesn't really move. It's very dry because of these two massive high pressures here competing with each other. This one is a little bit smaller rings, but they've combined and caused a pretty big area here because this one is stretching out this way and this one's stretching out that way, and they're both stretching out this way, but they are competing. So this high pressure is taking energy from this high pressure. So that will become the main one. This one here will become the main one. And the low pressure still stays here. It strengthens a little bit and it keeps here. Look at that. It keeps producing moisture, and then boom, that's where that comes from. That's where it comes from. But yeah, that's really it for the GFS model. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'll probably cut this out of the video, so I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. But yeah, so let's get straight back to it. We can see this low pressure, it created this here. It's weakened, it's moved farther down south. This high pressure, as I said, took over this high pressure because that was the stronger one. 1043, 1037, and that one kept on taking, started moving it, and we can see those arms stretching down there. Sorry, I'm breathing a little hard. Put my dog out. But we can see that it used to be the massive one. This one came down in from the north and just took over it. It's just cool to see, low pressure coming after it. It's so cool. Weather's so cool. But we can see, very pretty heavy rain, and then it stays there, and that's where that came from. And just to get an idea on what I mean, watch this area. Watch just what happens in just a few days. It's so cool, right? Look at the United States. I know this is kind of wasting the time. You may think I'm stretching to the 10-minute mark, but remember, I don't have ads, so. But we can see it's so cool. Moisture comes down from here, comes up. I don't know if you guys like this type of stuff, but that's how the weather works. Atmosphere works. High pressure steers all these low pressures. High pressure does steer all of these low pressures. But yeah, that was the GFS model. Now let's move on to the ECMWF model, which, which, it's good model. I just don't like how I can't write and stuff. But we can see only 24 hours out. You can see it already starting to form here. Rain right here, moderate rain somewhere in there. But yeah, so let's move it out a little bit more. And we can see it's starting to become a little bit of something. Let's go and get this. Starting to become a little bit of something here. But a little bit of snow for the high elevations, but that's it. It's going to be mainly a rain event, very soggy, very heavy rain. Could have not terrible flooding, but we could still see some flooding. That's why I did a video. Also, because I just don't want to not upload because it just doesn't feel good when you don't upload. So we can see the energy move out, and then the other energy comes in right here, and it creates some moderate to heavy rain for this area. And then Mr. High over here Mr. High over here is keeping the United States dry. That was a good rhyme, huh? So 10:38 right now, we can see it's stretching all the way over here. That's why this is staying dry, but low pressure does sneak in there before that, so you guys should be good. But then, two high pressures, like 10:38, we can see, the rain and stuff. But yeah, that's really, it's the high pressure stays, but the low pressure keeps on coming back. This is a little bit far out, but we can see how heavy that rain event could be if it does happen, of course. Now, you know, Mr. High stays there. 10:47. Mr. High does stay there. Mr. High wants to keep the United States dry, but it will not happen because someday that high will move and it will be knocked out by a low pressure. But even at nearly the end of the model run, it's just staying dry, but we can see this is what happens. This massive low pressure from uh, Alaska area, Alaska Gulf, we can see it starts to push the high pressure. We can see it literally completely disappears and moves to the southeast, which causes the southeast ridge. Now the southeast ridge comes into massive play. It will be so dry on the United States. There will be nothing to upload for you guys. It's my worst nightmare, but this is what happens with weather content. 3 high pressures in the United States. Whole United States will stay dry if this happens. But yeah, that is really it for today's video. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!